Millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
They can work. When you get close, he can't fucking fight in the inside. Trust me. How long you been trusting me? Get close to him and just keep poking. When I say penitentiary, put him in him.
I know this, yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah, yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, now we them niggas. And now we rich now. We got money. I don't give a shit, no. And we did it. Young nigga come up from nothing, now he getting to them riches. And it's the life of a young rich nigga.
Separate yourself.
Yeah, I ain't playing with your ass. Nigga, I ain't playing with your ass. You chasing greatness. You got greatness talking to you. Become great. Non-stop. Keep the pace.
I'm telling you.
Yo, what's going on out there? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy, Coach Squeeze of the Rize Podcast, aka the Smoothie King. Right back at y'all with another one. How y'all doing, man? Hope y'all had a blessed day. And y'all being safe. This year is rolling right along, man. I tell you, time don't wait for nobody. But, man, if you in the chat with me, make sure you smash that like button on the way into the door. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the Rize Podcast. Let's get the sponsors out of the way. 5-time world champ, 4 different weight classes. First ballot Hall of Famer, Baltimore's own GTD Promotions, redesigning minds one mind at a time. We know a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Shout out to www.kenichibed.com. Use code TRP. You'll get 15% off. Also, shout out the www.narslipgallery.org. Go over to the Demari's page. Support him in his artistry in and out of the ring. Make sure you go over to www.meakillerb.com. Check her merch out and keep her in y'all prayers for her healing process. Shout out to Richie Baby for putting in the 5 edits and the shorts. Check them out. Like them, hit them up. And, man, he doing his thing. And shout out the R.I.P. to John Boy, R.I.P. to Miss Tanya Vandross Williams Jr. Y'all are truly missed. Shout out to Bad Girls Promotion featuring Miss Nikki, a.k.a. Coach Brandy. Shout out to EOE, Education Over Everything, my brother movement. Shout out to Just Do Boxing, Hardcore Boxing News, Stretched Out Boxing, Aunt McQueen Boxing, Pro Soul Boxing Gear and Clothing Line, AO Clothing Line, Richie Threads, Under Armour. Thanks for all that you do. Don't forget to go down to 1901 Pennsylvania Avenue, Coach Calvin and Kenny Way. Get your Surrey's Essentials, 12 rolls for $7. Shout out to the Queen, Miss Mona, and everybody in the chat. Don't forget to go over to the RizePodcast.com. Get your Smoothie King shirts. Right back at y'all with another one. Last but not least, official gear boxing. All the fighters wearing it. Y'all can say it with me in the chat on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Box. Raw. All right, what it do? Showtime the guy. What it do, champ? Thanks for hitting my videos up, man. I hope you enjoying them. Just out having fun. Enjoying life, man. Something positive. Try to put some positivity on the airways besides a bunch of foolishness and buffoonery. So I hope you like the videos that I be putting up when I do put them up. Jarrell Davis, Tabu Apakabutu, Joseph Foster, Salute Showtime. Yeah, man. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Jake Paul and Terrance Crawford versus Canelo, the two biggest fights of this era. What y'all think about that? Talk to me. Give me y'all thoughts. Because this gonna do some numbers. It's gonna be on Netflix, and it might crash Netflix again. So I don't know the undercard gonna be, but this is gonna be an epic event. Tank going up against David and Goliath. Y'all know the story of that. And for Tank to take this fight, to me personally, is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Jake Paul think he's slick, but he gotta realize he might be giving up 60 pounds, but you gotta understand, to a certain degree, it don't matter if you don't know how to use that extra weight. You know what I'm saying? For the people that be in the ring and don't know how to use that weight. I done went in against plenty of fighters that I was bigger than and got pieced up because of their skill level. I couldn't match their skill level. So size ain't everything all the time. We know Jake Paul been fighting. He's been active. He's getting better. But definitely he gonna have to Gervonta is gonna be in the best shape of his life. Cause he not going in there to lay down. Jake big, but he ain't no Mario Barrios, has that boxing skill. So I done seen Tank spar a lot of dudes bigger than him and ragdoll him that got way more skill than Jake Paul do. But you can't measure determination. So this is going to be very interesting. Let me know y'all thoughts, man. Come on in. I got the link up there. If y'all want to come on in, the link is up. Come on in, express how you feel. It's Monday. Come on, y'all. Let's turn up. Come on in. There go the link. It's in the chat. And Terrance Crawford versus Canelo is one of the biggest fights of this era. Bigger than Canelo last couple fights with Munguia and Berlinger and Skull. This is bigger than all three of them. Yeah, this is bigger than all three of them. So what's y'all opinion, man? Let me hear what y'all guys say, because I'm like really like on the fence, because I never count Bud out. I never count Bud out, because Bud got that monster in him, and you can't coach that. You can't coach that. Yeah, Bud got that monster in him. So it's gonna come out fight night, but like I say, man, Canelo is used to fighting bigger guys, and the talk on Canelo body shots is ridiculous, you know. And Canelo break his opponents down. He break his opponents down, you know. He has to be honest, I never saw nobody and that I can remember that go after the body like Canelo does. I haven't seen nobody do that. Go after Canelo. I mean, go after your body like Canelo do, man. Yeah, so Bud always in good shape. He always in good shape. But I know they always draw up a good game plan. But he need to use his feet in and out. This is a tough, but this is a tough task for Bud, man. This is a tough task. People could say what they want. Canelo is Canelo. Triple G said it. I fought him 3 times and ain't really hurt him. You never really seen Canelo get rocked. Maybe once, twice. And what I mean by rock, anybody could get popped and mask it and hide it. And we not inside of them. But we talking about visibly by the eye. All right, y'all, let me bring them on in. My boy in here early. Hey, man, we got the link up in the chat, man. If y'all want to come on in and express how y'all feel, we one of the only podcasters that do this. You know, the other podcasters keep y'all at bay, but we don't do that. But let me bring them in, and y'all already know a beacon on the podcast. How would I say? A boxing guru, a father, cat, dog lover, and it's so much boxing to talk about. It ain't enough time of the day in this arsenal because we got other things we got to do. But let me bring them on in. The one, the only, the hitman of commentary, my brother, Aunt McQueen in the building.
I had to emphasize the hitman part. You see the throwing a little some. Yep. Back with
Yeah.
another one. People, like my man Squeeze said, don't be afraid. Don't have any trepidation when it comes to clicking the link. Everybody's opinions are welcome. As long as we keep it within the bounds of good taste and respect, because we are very respectful individuals. All is fair. Just don't come over here with none craziness. But all opinions are welcome.
You sound like you're a little far off.
Hold on, let me switch my.
Is that better? Am I
Yes,
clear? H. All right, cool. I had to make sure I wasn't ashy up here. You see, I'm over here in sparkling 4K. Got to make sure anytime I grace the Rize podcast, I'm not devaluing, but I'm contributing to the property value. As you can see, I'm in the Rize podcast. I can't even get the words out. Rize podcast mansion. See the Steinway in the back, the fireplace, bearskin rug, all that is high value.
That's right. Talking into fruition, because
yes,
God willing, I'm not going to give up the vision of being able to, when the big fights come, be at the fights and have rent a nice villa with about 5 rooms or something in it, nice kitchen or something, pool table, so I could invite some of the people in the chat that goes out, if we in their city, to come out and we sit and put the screen up. We got to carry our own and talk boxing and have some good food, take pictures, and just like we did in New York. That was real nice.
Oh no, it was a beautiful experience. It was a pleasure meeting you, some of the other people I hadn't met in person, being able to put the faces to the names, and then the energy was awesome. We also did it down there in Philadelphia as well. That was a very nice experience. That was the first time I met Senior in person, Jay Hardcore, Just Dude, Mrs. Just Dude, my man Tim Layton. Shout out to Big Dre. It was just awesome. Al Booger. And it's like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, these aren't just names and avatars. These
How
are real
Big Dre
people.
doing?
Man, Big Dre always doing Big Dre things. You know what I'm saying? Putting drops together.
I ain't heard
getting
from
his swim on. I saw him in somebody's chat, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday.
Damn, I ain't seen him over
He's
here.
an asset to the community. He might have one of those schedules that prohibit.
I ain't seen him over here in a minute.
Salute to Lee Jackson, Curtis Robinson, Taiwa. Who's that? Casey, Daryl. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. This is what it's all about, yo. I ain't gonna lie. Like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and them Sundays when I can make it, I'm always thankful to be here with you, Squeeze. Being able to talk about boxing, I ain't got to worry about nothing else for the moment except for telling my kids, y'all got to sit y'all's asses down for a second. I'm over here with the Smoothie Kid. Every time you see me and I'm muted and I'm looking away from the screen, I'm telling my kid, hey, y'all got to chill out. I'm over here with the Smoothie Kid. We talking this boxing talk. After I'm done, then y'all can get back to asking me to do this, that, and the third. But for this hour and some change, it's just straight boxing. Do not disturb me. I even got to tell my cats, hey, man, go sit down. Sit your punk ass down. Meow Mix can wait. I'm on here with the Smoothie King.
Yeah, that's
chopping it up with the good people.
Yeah, man. I was glad the day I got to see my daughter and my granddaughter. I ain't seen them in a minute, but it was good. They was right up out here from me, and I stopped in and saw them, got hugged from them. I ain't seen them in about 2 weeks, and just being able to touch them was got a hug from my granddaughter. She a trip, but it was a good feeling. It was like motivation. I can't wait till I get one of those nice numbers so I could buy my daughter a car and take care of some things I need to take care of. Get her a car, help out and stuff, and she be able to get around with my granddaughter. You know, those are things that takes money. While y'all saying the tank don't take that money,
Beautiful segue.
How much achieve these things if I don't got no money? How am I buy my daughter her first car and help her with a deposit on an apartment for her and my granddaughter?
Your integrity is gonna get it squeezed. You just go walk up to the lot and be like, you know what, I'm the smoothie king. I got integrity. Let me get that whip right there.
Yeah, after the police come.
That's how you get it. Just flash a smile. You don't know me, Rize Podcast. I got integrity, baby. Let me get that.
But
let me get that vehicle there.
It's gonna hurt my legacy if I don't get it. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man.
Better get that money while you can. And this is something I was thinking about earlier. It's funny that we talking about this again, but I was meditating. No pun intended, because I'm rereading this right here. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, philosophy, right? And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder how many active boxers there are in the world. I know in the lightweight division it's around 2,500. Then I'm thinking about what percentage of them are really, really getting to the bag. Because we say things like, yo, this guy's a cab driver, this guy is a sushi chef, he's this, that, and the third. And we try to say it in a disparaging way. No, I'm doing something right now. Didn't I just tell the people that in the chat squeeze? I got to tell these kids. It's the Rize Podcast. Hold on. Come talk to me at 10 o'clock. But yeah. So we say these disparaging things about these guys. Oh, he's a cab driver. He's this, he's that. But yo, people really got to hold down jobs until they make it to the big time. What you think these guys are fighting for? To continue fighting in obscurity for menial pay? Who not trying to get millions and millions of dollars for the hours and hours and months and years that they put into the craft?
I just want the people in the chat to know that being your own boss, but making your own moves and being able to do the things and achieve and move how you want to move and be able to do things for your family and take trips and all of that, that take money. That takes money. So you want to tell me, don't fight this person, fight that person for less because you think it's the right thing to do. The right thing to do is take care of your family. That's the right thing to do. What's going on, champ?
1,000% squeeze.
What's going on?
Senior, you looking sharp with the spectacles on though. This brother looking professional as hell. Like I didn't know who that was at first. He came through looking like a sportscaster for real. All you need is the suit and tie, bro.
It's coming. We ready to step it up a notch. What's going on, Squeeze? What's going on, Ant? How you feeling?
Staying prayed up, yo. Just like I was telling Ant, try and get that Gervonta Tank Davis bag. Try and get that bag so I could go into retirement early. Go right.
What's going on, everybody in the chat? What's going on, William Old School, Daryl Hopkins, Sexury Kendra, Curtis Robinson, Casey Hoban, I Drive Old Cars, Showtime, my guy Ty Y, Miss Shar. What's going on, everybody? Can you be mad at him? No, I've been watching it. I've been watching all the, you know what I mean, the jokes, everybody going back and forth. Oh, he should be doing this, he should be doing that. And I don't know near one of them that walk in the room and a person tell you pick 20 million or 100 million, going to pick 20 million. I just don't get it. Like everybody, oh, he's supposed to be going, no, man, he's supposed to be getting that bag. He told you what he is, a prize fighter.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And like my man Squeeze just said, yo, Squeeze, it's funny you said that because I was literally doing the exact thing that you was just talking about a few minutes ago. Out here buying. Hold on, let me turn my little let me get up out the Rize podcast mansion real quick so that people can see. Like, if anybody wants to donate to the cause, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here buying fucking backpacks, part of my language. You see what this bag is from Target? Ain't nothing in here for me. We got folders, we got Kleenex, we got paper, notebooks, pencils, colored pencils, school supplies. These things cost money. And I would much rather be getting $100 million than driving around, doing deliveries, doing Uber Eats, and trying to make them twos and fews connect. You know what I'm saying? Just had to buy uniforms earlier today. Like literally, like right before I came on the Rize podcast. We got tan pants, polo shirts. So listen, if that 100 million come, hey, listen, Aunt McQueen, I see the work you do on the Rize podcast with Squeeze and Senior. I would love to pay you millions of dollars to just talk about boxing and pontificate and give your opinion. Nah, I got too much integrity. Hell no, I'm gonna talk about this boxing. Cut me my check. My kids need school supplies. My wife need her toes done. You know what I'm saying? These other bills got to get paid. You feel me? Things got to get done.
They don't understand.
I can't just walk up in there like I got integrity. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Keep my lights on because I got integrity. Put food in my fridge. I got integrity.
Hey, Aunt, why you keep saying integrity? Why you keep saying integrity? Let me ask you that.
Because people acting like he's selling his soul to make this money. He doing the same thing he been doing. Training and fighting.
So let me ask you this question, because I believe he told him what he is.
Prize fire, stupid. I want prize fire, stupid. I want prize fire, stupid.
He a prize fighter. He go and get the bag like he's supposed to. But my question is, and this is my argument, right? If he got to go to Jake Paul to get that bag, what does that say about Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Keyshawn Davis, whoever else you want to name? What does that say about them if he got to go all the way to Jake Paul to get that bag?
It says that the business of boxing is not doing what it's supposed to. When you got guys like that, because all the guys that you mentioned, in my opinion, I believe that these guys are talented. So the fact that they don't have a profile big enough to command a certain bag, that is the problem in and of itself. Boxing needs a major overhaul when it comes to marketing, promotion. Once upon a time, you'd be able to turn on ABC Wide World of Sports and watch Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, or this one or that one, or Hagler versus Hearns. Boxing needs to get it together. And maybe boxing can learn a thing or two from Jake Paul. Because when it comes down to it, it's about putting asses in seats. We can lie to ourselves all day long and say it's about the guts and the glory and this and that. But all of these fighters, their handlers, their promoters, they all have a plan. They spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just getting these guys to a certain point, whether it be gym fees, promotion, advances, this, that, and the third. You think these people don't want a return on their investment? Just think about how many moving parts there are to making a successful boxing event. There's cameramen. There's people who edit things. There's people who handle the lights. There's people, there's just so many people. The people who set up the ring got to get paid. Everybody got to get paid. And then here's the other part of it too. These people, they going to make money off your back. But God forbid you say, you know what? Instead of just getting played, I'm going to play the game. And that's exactly what this man is doing. In my eyes, he's playing the game. He's playing the game. And obviously there's something about him to where we talking about him. You got all these fighters that are fighting all over the world. Why we ain't dedicating 2.5, 3 hour lives to them? Oh, I know why. Because if we were to talk about them, our views ain't going through the roof. So we eating off Jake Paul versus Tank the same way they are. Because we could be talking about this other guy, the other guy, but you know what? Ain't nobody going to tune in. So where's our integrity as people who cover this thing? Or is it only a one-way thing? We get to dictate who this guy is supposed to fight. We get to talk about this man's character. We get to talk about his integrity or lack thereof for taking such a fight. But why the hell we ain't covering all the rest of these fights? Because they not going to get us the views. They not going to get us the clicks. The AdSense don't add up. We ain't going to be able to sell as much merchandise because we ain't got as much viewers. So we got to call it what it is. Everybody got to get paid. Everybody.
No,
People got me pissed off.
I drive old cars. Y'all acting like he did. Like that's a problem. Tank be telling y'all don't listen. He told y'all what was going down, what was going to happen next. You don't want to hear it? Here you go.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
He told y'all what was happening. And it wasn't going to be Lamont Roach, so everybody all bent up out of shape. I don't even understand how.
You understand how. It's popular to attack the popular name. It just is what it is. Woody, I hear where you coming from as far as dropping the belt and stop holding up the division, but ask yourself a question. Raymond Morataya, he's the IBF champion right now at 135. Who is he about to unify with next? Or is he going to get a title defense in and they going to milk this situation for what it is? Who he about to unify with? Is he holding up the division? Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson. And I'm not even mad at them dudes for not fighting because apparently they have a very strong personal relationship. These guys support one another. I'm not one of those people who feel like, oh, you guys got to fight, so and so forth, and then just completely disregard your personal relationship. Because I can understand that these guys are saying like, yo, we know each other's mothers. It's very difficult to look at this man and take it to the extent that I would with another human being. But with that being said, with one guy holding the WBO and the other guy holding the WBC, are we saying they holding up the division because they're not fighting each other? How could it only be one person holding up the division? You got all these other belts in circulation. None of these people unifying. But one person is holding up everything.
I get it.
So who's holding up what? Who's holding up what? You saying he had 30 fights and never unified, but what does that really mean to be unified? Because in one fell swoop, you can get 3 belts. We'll sit here and say that George Kambosos is trash, but my man, what's his name, was undisputed off of that one dub. What's my man's name? Devin Haney. So we got to hold it We got to hold everybody to the same standard. It got to be across the board, not just the one guy who's popular, not the one guy who's making money. We got to hold everybody to the same standard. If this one guy is holding up the division, then everybody's holding up the division, because ain't none of these dudes unifying
at all.
None of them are unifying.
I think Lamont Roach need to be happy and thankful too, though. He running around here talking all this, you know what I mean? He need to be thankful. You know what I mean? Motherfucker threw him a bone. He ready to get another bag. You know what I mean? Now ain't nobody. He was a champion at 130, and ain't nobody know who he was. You know what I mean? Now, you know what I mean? You fight Tank. Now you got people knocking at your door trying to get in. I think you need to be thankful too, Lamont.
Well,
what you think?
I'll say this.
Go ahead, Ant.
My man Squeeze looking a little occupied.
No, I'm letting y'all cook. I ain't occupied.
Okay. I thought you was watching the phone or checking them numbers. I know you be playing that lottery.
I'm listening to y'all, champ.
Okay. Just Squeeze, make sure you chime in, man, because you know your perspective is always appreciated.
Well,
always.
What y'all want to ask me, champ? I was letting y'all cook.
I believe Senior was asking like how you feel about Lamont Roach, and how he's been carrying the situation. Since the fight.
Since the mentioning of Jake Paul fight?
Well, I guess that's for Senior to clarify.
Huh?
I believe that's for Senior to clarify. Like what you saying from the night of the fight, Senior, up until now?
Wait a minute,
like with Lamont Roach.
Say it again.
No, I'm saying your question was pertaining to Lamont Roach from the fight, like from March up until now.
Yeah, I'm saying from up until after the fight. You know what I mean? Now you find out, you know what I mean, it's another fight next. So now you selling wolf tickets, he ducking you, but you great get a bigger, like nobody knew you. You was a champion, nobody knew you. Everybody was talking about, you know what I mean? I'm telling we still telling people, that's a good fight, roast this, roast that. But now you getting a draw, your name ringing, you know what I mean? You forgot how you got there. Don't do it. That's all I'm saying,
You know, me personally, I don't even blame him because you got to take advantage of the moment. You know, when you got the eyes on you and you got people wanting to interview, and to your point, I've always thought that Lamont Roach was a terrific fighter, but he was fighting in obscurity. Golden Boy did a horrible job of promoting him. Then he was over there. He fought on what do you call it? On Pro Box. Right? So it's like, yo, when people are talking about you, you got to make sure you keep your name in the conversation, especially with a fight as controversial as that one. It was highly anticipated, the rematch, that is. There were some people who felt like he won, right? So it's like, yo, you got a lot of fighters that fight for a long time before they finally get their just due and they break through. I was just watching something the other day, Julio Cesar Chavez. This dude fought like 40 fights before he got a big fight, WBC title fight. I could only imagine the stress that he was going through. Like, damn, like when am I going to get my break? It's 40 fights. Still nobody really talking about me like that. I'm not getting the big opportunities.
Smoothie King.
Right back at you. With another one, salute to Squeeze. Be more stand up, Curtis Robinson. Thanks for the color in the chat. Salute, man. Be more stand up. Appreciate you, baby.
Smoothie King.
Right back at you with another one. Curtis Robinson. That's how you grind, Ant and Squeeze. Appreciate you. Love you.
Hell yeah! So I could see where Roach is coming from, but I also see where you coming from too, Squeeze, Senior. Where it's like, yo, like bro, you was basically in obscurity. We seen a similar situation with Tyson Fury. Remember, Tyson Fury was all but retired. My man was out of weight, dealing with whatever his issues were with the substance abuse and all that. And then Deontay Wilder, in a manner of speaking, brought the man back from the dead. So with Lamont Roach, it was like you was just a good fighter, but now, you know, you fought me, you got your name lit. But that's what you're supposed to do, is take advantage of the moment to make sure that people continue to know who you are, because you get a taste of it.
I just think that Roach got his name out there on a international level, not local level, because that's all he was known before this fight, because I didn't know who he was. I thought he was, when they said Roach, I was going to go get some damn raid out the bathroom and look for where's crawling at. They say no, Squeeze, a guy named Roach. And I was like, should I step on him, or what do you want me to do? Like, show me him. I need to know if this Roach big enough that I can step on him. And then the Roach came out of the closet. Okay, he survived. Now he talking about bringing all the other roaches along with him. But one thing he forgot: if you get too far in the daylight, people gonna start stepping on you and killing your clique. So, Roach, all I gotta tell you, Gervonta going on to this fight, I guess you got enough bread to wait. No, don't wait. You got Shakur Stevenson. You got Davis. Is other big names out there. Prove that you are what you say you are. You beat Gervonta. I won this fight, man. Okay. Why is you anxious to fight him again? Move on. You know why? That check looked good, which y'all getting on him about getting a big check, bigger than what he would get fighting y'all. So y'all just like double standing. Y'all whining a little too much for me.
Facts, Squeeze. We can't have it both ways, yo.
Put that chat back
McNugget.
up. Smoothie King, right back at you with another one. Witty, thanks for the color in the chat. Why Tank never fought any of his mandatories? He did fight his mandatories. He fought his mandatories. Y'all mandatories are his. That's all that is. His mandatories is the bank. That's his mandatory.
You remember this, Ant? Because I don't think. Hold on, let me see something. Got something else I want to show you, Ant. I thought I sent it up already.
Nah, Sexy Kendra, you allow people to tell it. You know, Frank was just a bum. Like, you know, he won ranked number 1 in the WBA and none of that. You know, you just got to let people have it. You just got to let people have it. People going to say what they want to say and just diminish everything. Everybody else is fighting killer after killer after killer. You let folks tell it.
You remember this right here, Ant?
I can't argue with the strategy of any fighter. Inoki laid on his back and kicked Ali in the thigh. He kicked him so hard in the thigh, Ali spent 3 days in the hospital with a bruised leg that was serious. He did limp noticeably, that would hinder him. The pain didn't come until after the fight was over.
足を取りました。モハメッド・アリ、足を取りました。猪木の足を取りました。さあ、どうなるか。どうなるか。猪木足を取った。猪木足を取りました。さあ、モハメッド・アリ。なんというも作った。アントニオ猪木。
As far as the face goes, neither one of them got scarred, and that's a 15-round fight.
You know what that
Well,
was?
senior, let me prepare you for what's about to occur. If it hasn't occurred, if it's not going to occur in the chat, it's going to happen in the comments. But Muhammad Ali fought. But Muhammad Ali was however many years old. But because the same thing happened a couple days ago when Squeeze and I were chopping it up, and I mentioned George Foreman, and Buddy in the chat tried to tell me, George Foreman was at the end of his career, and I was like, no, George Foreman was 26. He was 26 years old. It was 1975. He was 26 years old. He lost to Muhammad Ali, and he said he ain't want to run the rematch back. Like George Foreman is on camera saying this. He did not want to run the rematch back. He did the exhibition. It was 5 guys in one night, but people do not want to hear it. They don't.
I was ready to say the crazy thing is that clip just popped up on my Instagram the other day where he was talking about it. You know what I mean? They were showing him fighting the 5 guys in one night. I meant to get it, but I thought I saved it, but I didn't.
Yeah, and he was 26 years old, see? He was 26 years old.
Foreman was young too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Folks don't want to hear it though. They don't want to hear it because people are still of the belief that this boxing thing is all about guts and glories and belt and this and that. Nah, it's about the money. The fights that we see, these quote unquote super fights, is because that was the best available option for turning the profit. That's what it came down to.
Listen to him again, Ant. He gonna tell you what he is.
Fire, stupid. I want prize fire, stupid. I want prize fire, stupid.
A prize fighter. Not a belt fighter, a prize fighter. Let me bring my guy Riddick Bowe in. He got something he wants to say. What's going on, Riddick Bowe? Can't even hear you. You jump straight in with on mute. Can't even hear you. Yeah, your mic's not even right. You about to get the boot. See what I'm saying? You came in with, you know what I mean, all too much dip on your chip.
Yo.
Yeah, you came in with too much dip on your chip.
Oh man. I had to scrape it off. Man. What's happening?
What's going on, Riddick Bowe? What's on your mind?
Boxing source.
I'm a prize fighter. That's what I'm supposed to fight for. A prize. Duh. You feel me? It ain't like this hasn't happened over the course of history. I talked about this the other day. How many exhibition fights have happened over the course of history in boxing? Ever since Jack Johnson and Jack Dempsey and John L. Sullivan, they've been doing exhibition fights. Muhammad Ali's been doing exhibition fights. George Foreman. The list goes on and on. So this ain't no different.
I got one more for you.
I got a clip for you right there. See?
You're obviously training very hard for this thing. Do you still feel hungry as a fighter? You still want things to prove?
Well, I don't feel like I have to prove anything to anybody. I just like to have a lot of money and a lot of investing. You know, that help pays the rent.
People say you're a pretty rich fella now.
Well, I'm not pretty rich, but I can pay the rent every week. You know what I mean? And otherwise, I can get the nice things in life that I like to have and make my family comfortable. So, you know, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But a man never get enough too much money.
Nah, folks, it's just all about the money. You know what I'm saying? Even though you got a clip, Joe Frazier, 1973, telling you it's about the bag. 50 some odd years ago, letting you know it's about the paper explicitly. You don't feel like you got anything to prove? Oh, no, I don't feel like I got anything to prove. But, you know, I like to have nice things and I want my family to be comfortable.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about you know having a prize. I mean, the prize ain't necessarily a belt. The prize is the purse.
Listen, just think about this, right? Young kid from Baltimore City, out of the hood, the slums, the ghetto. Make his name that big with a pair of boxing gloves. Step on some of the biggest stages, you know what I mean? Have some of the biggest fights Vegas have ever seen. How can you get mad at that? He's a success story. Might be some bumps in the road along the way, but to come from Baltimore and make it to see a check for $100 million, you got to be shitting me. Salute to you, Tank. Job well done. Keep doing your thing. Get the bag.
Get the money.
That's it. Ain't nothing else to it.
Wait, so Floyd Mayweather could have exhibition fights, or like I said, Muhammad Ali against Antonio Inoki. You know what I mean? George Foreman fighting 5 fighters in exhibitions. List goes on and on.
Smoothie King.
Right back at you with another one. Black Preacher Man, thanks for the color in the chat. So Tank not retiring after this because Ali and Foreman didn't retire after their fights.
If he do or if he don't, that's his decision, his choice. Enjoy. He gave you one more fight. You got one more left.
Yep.
What they tell you, Squeeze? Take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
That's it. One day at a time. We
People
can't keep
want
going
him to-
all the way down the road. Yeah. One day he said he was gonna retire. He came back, he ain't retiring. Now he ready to give you Jake Paul. Enjoy the Jake Paul versus Tank fight. You're gonna watch it anyway.
There you go.
And if you don't watch it, you're gonna go back and watch the reruns and the clips, mad that you didn't watch it because your attitude was in the way. So you're still gonna end up watching it. Whether you like them or if you don't.
Mm-hmm. Like the show still goes on.
I remember when I first got my real job. White man, he told me he gave me some rules. And the first one, he was like, this the most best rule that you could ever understand, not just at this job, but in life. Anything is subject to change at any moment. Once you understand that, you good. Yeah, it might be this way today, but tomorrow things might change up and it gotta go this way. What you gonna do? Get bent up out of shape, have an attitude, woo, 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 and still gotta do the job? Or you just gonna go ahead, rock with it, and get the job done? Shit changed. You know what I mean? Different offers came up. You never know how the business moves. Business changed from day to day. He took what was available. He told y'all at the end of the Roach fight, I want to fight him next. Probably won't be next.
Probably won't be next.
In a couple minutes was next. And everybody heard in a couple minutes what was next.
Yeah.
Fake news.
I got another clip for you, Senior. The GOAT.
I'm bringing it up. Okay.
That's the GOAT.
That you rather enjoy your work, is that right?
No, just the opposite, Ed. I've never enjoyed boxing. It's just a business with me, and I guess I know I've never enjoyed it. It reminds me of the old, something barbaric. Two people get in a pit and they throw money at them and they fight.
It's just the business with me. That's
the hurt
it.
business. The hurt business. That's what it is, the hurt business. So,
and that's Sugar Ray Robinson telling you that. That is just business.
That's what I'm saying, but it be the people that's trying to, I get it. YouTube, you want to build up a topic, you want to, get your views up and all that, but at some point you gotta be real.
Thank you.
Who would not take 100 million over 20 million, 30 million, whatever it is, whatever's on this table ain't equal up what was on this table. You walk in the room, you got a choice. Take this or this. You're gonna take the biggest amount you can take.
Exactly.
Every time you step in the ring.
Exactly. That's what I put up. I said, you got Lamont Roach, you could potentially have Shakur Stevenson or have Jake Paul. If Jake Paul is the biggest bag you could get, why not go for that? Them other fights should still be there. That's the thing about it. The other fights still be there, regardless of the pay you get.
But now pay attention to the business though. When you spend the bin, let's say, okay, we're gonna take a step ahead. Let's say he spend the bin and go back to Roach because that's the fight he said he want next. Now look how big that fight is. That's another bag. That fight then got big now, especially if Roach take a fight in between and do what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know what I mean? Like, come on, make it make sense. And Roach is still getting the bag because you know what I mean. They beating down his door trying to get a fight.
Yep.
Man, hey, listen. I heard some people out there fussing, and you know what I mean, all that. You know what I mean? I invite all of you to the Rize podcast, and we can chop it up and talk about it.
Hey, and I even joked that you know, as far as like exhibition fights go, you know, they had a big exhibition fight between Rocky Balboa and Thunder Lips too. So I mean, it happens all the time, man.
Yeah, it does. Shit, remember they had the simulation between Rocky Marciano and the Muhammad Ali. They had a whole simulation thing back in the day.
Yep.
Hey,
so these things happen.
You can tell all the podcasters, all your buddy podcasters, anybody got a problem with it, we can come debate it on the Rize podcast. I want all the smoke. I ain't ducking nothing.
Oh yeah.
I'm calling all of them out. Whoever got a problem, come on over here. Let's chop it up.
Listen.
Witty, let me just say this. This is not about us caring about Tank's money. This is about being pro-choice. If that's what he wants for himself, then who are we to say that he shouldn't take it or question his integrity? But then also, as far as the whole best fights the best thing is concerned, let's be realistic here about that. Most of us don't even really know who the hell the best is. All of this stuff is manufactured, is engineered. Just Saturday night, I'm listening to the broadcast tell me that Tellers is supposed to smoke Barral. He's supposed to just blow him out the water. This guy's supposed to just be a stepping stone. And then the opposite takes place.
Well,
then when you got guys not in the top 10, dude.
Smoothie King.
Oh, my boy, hey, Uncle Dre, finest. You dig? Right back at y'all with another one. Appreciate you, man. God bless you. God bless each and every one on here. Y'all hold it down. Boxing Source. I heard your opinion on it. You know, it's all about the bag, taking care of your family, getting a season of moments in life, an opportunity. I showed them my bill stack the other day, and this take money. You know what I mean? And I ain't worrying about no goddamn legacy to pay it. That's my closing arguments. All right, y'all, have a blessed night. Hold it down, champ.
I give him a couple extras since I'm on here. I give him a couple extras.
All right,
Hold it down, Squeeze.
All right, have a good one. All
right, champ.
But yeah, you know, as I was saying, we're going to put asterisks next to things anyway. In one breath, we're going to sit here and say, like, yo, it's all about belts and accolades and all this other stuff. And then we'll say that a guy who's 2-time undisputed multi-divisional champ still ain't fight nobody. So we be picking and choosing when belts matter and when they don't matter and the circumstances and this guy ain't fought nobody. Like, for example, yo, your man, and this is no disrespect to Xander Zayas, but I felt where Virgil Ortiz was coming from when I looked at their back and forth. You just fought a dude who wasn't ranked in the top 5 and you got a belt for it. And this is no disrespect to him because his team put him in position to facilitate that, to get that opportunity. He capitalized. But it's like, what the hell is the belt really worth if we can dictate who gets to fight for a belt and who doesn't? And it's not based on the merit of the fighter, but what their team can facilitate. So it's like, what does that really mean?
Like, we've seen over the course of history that, you know, rankings could be, as they say, bought off, so to speak. So you could be at, you know, number 1 or number 3 or number 6 and fight for a world title because you went up to, you know, these sanctioning bodies and said, hey, I want to see if my fighter could be at this particular ranking and then see if he could, you know, get a world title shot. So it's happened all the time when it comes to that.
Yep. Absolutely. And to the point that you just made, bro, certain sanctioning bodies have become synonymous with certain promoters, right? Like, what do people call the WBO? What Bob orders.
WBC,
It just is
beat
what
that
it is.
Canelo. Oop, my bad.
We Canelo. So, you know what I'm saying? When it's Dimitri Bivol, you want to strip him right away. But when it's Canelo Alvarez, it's like, yo, take your time with that WBC strap. We don't need you to fight David Benavidez. Take your time, champ.
Yep.
And with that being a Mexican-based organization, we've seen it with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. What's my man's name? Sergio Martinez was tracking him down. He was popping up at every convention trying to get a fight with the man.
Yep.
And they was dragging their feet to make that fight happen. But when it's Dimitri Bivol, it's like, yo, champ, you need to fight him or come up off the belt. Like real quick. So they picking and choosing. So it's like, what is the belt really worth? And then while we on here, Rize podcast, Baltimore, right? Like my man Marlo said in The Wire, what is the crown worth if the nigga who wears it is always getting his shit took? Right? And I'm gonna say that in reference, and this is no disrespect to Devin Haney, but George Kambosos is like, this dude was a title holder. Was he really a champion? Because he never made any successful defenses.
Not one.
Not one. Soon as he got the belts, he was swiftly alleviated of said titles in the very next fight. So it's like, what the hell are those belts worth? Because you didn't even beat a worthy champion to become undisputed. And this is no disrespect to Devin Haney, because it's not his responsibility to make sure that the guy who had it was holding it down the way it was supposed to be held down.
I'll give him that. Absolutely.
But let's say if that's Tank Davis fighting George Kambosos, we don't think he's not punching this dude out the ring and taking those 3 titles? So who gets to achieve what is largely predicated upon opportunity. And if that opportunity wasn't presented for a myriad of reasons, then who's to say that this guy would have never became that? And timing is extremely important. Like, I know Brian Mendoza is kicking himself, because had he did what he did to Sebastian Fundora after Sebastian Fundora became champion, then he would be champion. But he knocked the guy out, then the guy became champion like a fight later. Like, timing, opportunity is extremely important in boxing when it comes to who gets to call themselves a champion, whether it's for a single belt or unification or undisputed. Like, timing is extremely important. Like the guy that's about to fight anyway, MJ, he lost to MJ Tapales.
Yeah, Marlon. Yeah,
he lost to Marlon Tapales. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, timing is extremely important, bro. And that's one of the things that we just fail to wrap our minds around. We just look at like, oh, this guy is never unified, or this guy is never this, or this guy is never that. Well, how about politics getting in the way of things? And I don't even blame the promoters. You look at the monopoly that the Top Rank had on the 135 division. I'm looking at it like, yo, that's smart business. If you got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy under the same roof, it would behoove you to do a round robin. Why the hell would you let an outsider come in and skate off with hardware? Now that takes the luster off potential matches that you already have under your roof. That's just smart business. PBC did the same thing at 147 several years ago.
Yep.
You got Bud Crawford basically on an island with the WBO, the WBA, IBF, and WBC are all under the same banner. Why in the hell wouldn't you make Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman, Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia, Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter, Sean Porter versus your Dennis Ugas? You damn right. You got to milk that situation for what it's worth, because these promoters understand that the fans want to see championship fights. It just increases the luster and the magnitude of the fight. It's all promotion. It's all a prop. But we're the last ones to understand, and that's why you got Bob Arum saying things like fans are as dumb as a rock, and you can kick them as far as you want to, because we're still sitting here arguing with each other about these things.
These fucking fans, they just are as dumb as a rock. You can kick them as far as you can. God dang it.
Right. Because they understand that. Because we're the only ones out here losing our minds about this shit. Yo, how come you ain't unified with this guy? You think that Raymond Muay is about to unify with somebody next? Or they about to have him do like a hometown fight and then establish him as a champion, get a defense under his. That's what it is.
Yep.
That's what it is.
And the other thing, as far as like, this whole business thing and whatever, and people are complaining about these matches or like this thing here with, Jake Paul and Tank Davis and the whole thing with and they talk about, oh, we need to have the best fight and the best. Well, the problem with that is when they tried to have the best fight and the best in 2023, not enough people supported it. Not enough people. 2023 was a banner year in the sport of boxing. You didn't necessarily have to have just Inoue versus Stephen Fulton or Terrance Crawford versus Errol Spence. You had a number of other fights that were high caliber matches in 2023, and the fans didn't really support it. So these people in boxing are like, you know what? All we're going to do now, we're just going to be putting up fights together. And if you support it, fine. If you don't, oh well. We just continue to do what we are going to do here. And that's why you have someone like a Turkey LLC come in and say, oh, let's have a fight between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, or Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou, or some other, crazy matchup within the sport of boxing that for some people don't make any sense, but they're going to do it anyway. Why? Because they have the money to do it. And if they're willing to put out that money,
source, you cooking, bro. You cooking.
If they're willing to put that money up, then that is what it is. Why you think you're seeing all of these fights over in Saudi Arabia? Because not only are they trying to push the product in Saudi Arabia, but because you got all of these promoters here in the U.S., they ain't gonna be willing to spend that money to make those type of fights. No,
hell no. Because to the point you made, nobody's supporting it, bro. Like, yo, people were talking about we need to see Usyk versus not Usyk. We need to see Bivol versus Beterbiev for the longest. Top Rank ain't willing to pay for it. This one ain't willing to pay for it. Then we finally see it. How many people tuned into that shit? But then people about to be tuning in for Jake Paul versus Tank. And that's what it comes down to, bro. It's the bottom line. It is the bottom line. It ain't the guts. It ain't the glory. It is the bottom line. And I said this last week when I was talking to Squeeze. It's been that way since 1921. Tex Ricard put on the first show that had $1 million gate. Jack Dempsey versus George Carpentier of France. And George Carpentier was the man. He was the Jack Dempsey out there in France. That grossed $1 million. They've been trying to replicate that ever since. They've been trying to duplicate that success. Because to your point, it's like, yo, we can put on the best fights, but if nobody's tuning in, they're not buying the pay-per-view, the venue ain't selling out, then what are we doing? It's like that tree that fell in the forest and nobody was around to hear it.
See, that's why you had the fight card that you had on February 22nd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And that's why you're going to have that fight card on November 22nd in Saudi Arabia. Because you're not going to have enough support here in the States to hold it at any venue here in order for them to make that type of money. You mean to tell me that you could have David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde? You could have Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. You could have Artur Beterbiev on that card. You could have Abdullah Mason going up against Sam Noakes for a world title. All of that in one card. You could have Subriel Matias against Dalton Smith for another world title. 6 fights total, 6 good fights on paper, and they're all in Saudi Arabia. Why? Because nowhere in the States you'll be able to have all of those fights in one card and get enough support for it. Not in the box office, not on pay-per-view. You're not going to get the support.
And not on here either in terms of content creation, because what are we doing? I've been looking, I've been high and low. I've been on various panels, so on and so forth. Folks been spending 3 hours and change talking about Tank versus Jake Paul. And then it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, Jack Rafferty's fighting Mark Chamberlain. You know what I mean? So it's like, look at where we're focusing our attention, and why is that? Because we know we spent the whole life talking about Jack Rafferty versus Mark Chamberlain or what's her name?
What about
Jasmine Ortega just fought? She just put forth a hell of a
Shout out to
performance.
Tampa,
We ain't
Florida.
talking about that.
Shout out to Tampa, Florida.
Yep.
Like you talk about that whole MVP
we
doubleheader, 2 fight cards.
We ain't even get into the second half of the topic. Talking about Bud and Canelo. We, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
folks still locked in.
There you go, right? And it's like, look, you got Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. You got Terrance Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Now I said this earlier. I said you got
Hold up, Boss Source.
All right.
Yeah, this for black preachment. This for black preachment right here.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
Well, what is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
No, we just gonna disregard that because it's about what we want though, senior. And this is what I'm saying. And I want to address what he said too. So you said 3 weeks ago y'all wasn't talking about Tank Roach fight. Personally, I would love to see Tank versus Roach again because the first fight was fantastic, and we need resolution. We need resolution. Just the same way Floyd fought Castillo, people felt like Castillo won. You got to clear up the controversy. So I would love to see that. But what I want to see and what makes the most sense for him are incongruent. They are not in alignment. And I'm not about to tell another man that he needs to do what I want him to do. That's first and foremost. And then the second point, money, the love of money is the root of all evil. No, it is not. It is the love of money above all things. The love of money above all things. That in itself, that is the root of evil, not the love of money, because the love of money, I mean, it's all about our intentions. You can have a lot of money and you can do some good things. Like Tank did a back to school drive. Why the hell we ain't talking about that? And guess what? A back to school drive costs what? It costs money. So he did something positive with his money. They had the situation out there when he bought the properties for people to have affordable housing. That costs what? Money. It's not legacy. It's not integrity. You can't be like, go to a real estate agent and say, well, look, I got integrity. I got legacy. I need these properties so people can have affordable housing. You do a Thanksgiving drive to feed people. Yeah. You go to feed people Thanksgiving that have nowhere else to go and be like, yeah, I got the WBA strap here. Let me get them turkeys and this, that, and the third. No, it costs money. Intention. That's more important because we can have the same amount of money, but if we got different intentions, we're going to spend it differently.
Exactly.
If we got different character, we're going to spend it differently. That's the most important thing. Character. Not just the love of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just literally on here a couple minutes ago showing y'all. And I'm not saying that to big myself up and say, oh, whoop-de-doo, I'm the fucking father of the year. But when I go to the store, when I go to Target, and I got to buy my kids school supplies, I can't tell these people I got integrity. I got legacy. I got to come in there with cold, hard fucking cash. These people need money. I can't get it off legacy. I can't get it off my intention. I can't get it off my dashingly, boyishly good looks. I'm handsome. Pass me that. No, I got to give these people money or credit. Some form of currency has to be exchanged for these goods. I had to buy my kids school supplies, uniforms, backpacks, all that shit. It cost money. So you can miss me with all that money is the root of all evil shit. Ain't nothing fun about being broke. Ain't nothing fun about destitution. Ain't nothing fun about being hungry. Ain't nothing fun about living in lack and scarcity. We need money. We got to stop demonizing it and demonizing people who understand that and they're able to maximize their potential. Let me ask you a question, Black Preacher Man. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, you may be a truck driver with a CDL. You may be a bridge painter. I don't know what you do, but I'm hoping that you do something positive and constructive. But if somebody were to come to say to you, hey, bro, I want to pay you quadruple what you've been making to do the same exact job, what are you about to say? Oh, nah, you know what? I can't take that. I can't accept that. I got too much integrity. My man Senior be busting his ass if they would have come in and say, look, we got this contract and we gonna pay you the same money to do the same job. He be a damn fool as a man with children.
You ain't see me leave?
Take that. You know what I'm saying? There's no shame in that. That all that poor righteous shit, we gotta dismiss that. That right there in itself is destructive, because you know what happens when people are poor, when they living in lack. That's when you got a dude running up to your driver's side, the driver's side of your car, yanking you out that joint. That's when you can't have nice things, because people got to snatch it from you. People got to take it from you because they living in lack and destitution. We should want people to want things and have things and to be living a life of abundance. That's how we keep things peaceful. But as long as there's this huge disparity and people ain't able to get it, that's when people are desperate and they're resorting to desperate measures. So I say, listen, this is a job. All that other stuff, like I said, is nothing more. It is nothing more than advertisement, marketing, and promotion. That's the things that they sell to us. Championship, legacy, and so on and so forth, to get us to tune in. Because if they pound for pound, if they would have just keep it a buck and say, you know what, I'm just doing this to feed my family, it don't sound as good. It just don't sound as good. But if it's like, yo, man, I'm laying it on the line and I always dreamt of this and so on and so forth. But when people keep it a buck with us, we looking at them like, no, they don't really want it. No, get that fucking money, because you got a small window that you need to maximize. And especially if you've been doing it since 6 years old up until the time you 30, I'm pretty sure that man is tired of running miles, doing hill sprints, getting punched in the head and sparring. And then also a certain disposition. When the man told you in the interview that he want to be softer because he got daughters, but he don't want to go to therapy, he don't want to seek help because he feels like he's going to lose the edge that allows him to operate how he needs to operate, to kill or be killed. Or let me back that up for YouTube. To unalive or be unalived. That he don't even want to operate in that space. He wants to be softer. You know what I'm saying? He wants to not fly off the handle as a response to outside resistance. But he doesn't want to lose that edge just yet because he feels like he needs it. We're not talking about just making money. We also talking about somebody's humanity. And like I said before, these people will exploit you. And it's so odd that Tank uses the gorilla emoji, right? I was watching King Kong. You look at that movie. That movie is not a monster movie. That movie is a movie about exploitation. You take this being from Skull Island, you chain him up, and you have people pay to come see him, and you advertise him as the eighth wonder of the world. That is what Tank Davis is. This man is an economy unto himself. And there are a lot of people's success that is hinged upon his success. Just think about all the cameramen, all of the matchmakers, all of the promoters,
the network,
strength and conditioning people, the people at the networks, the guy who does the graphic design, the man who sets up the ring, the person who controls the light, the person who operates the sound, the cameraman, all of these people, and it goes on and on and on. Lawyers, agents, managers, coaches, trainers, so on and so forth. All these people whose success is riding on his success. That is a whole lot of pressure to deal with. And then you got some asshole that'll tell you, well, yeah, I don't care that you beat Pedraza for the IBF championship. You still ain't did shit. No, fuck you. I'm gonna go get this money. I can level with that because no matter what you do, you're gonna put an asterisk next to it. Oh, well, he ain't fighting nobody. He's dragging this guy down, or he's dragging this guy up, or he's putting a weight clause on this guy, despite the fact that this guy is 6'1", got a significantly longer reach. I'm 5'4" and a fucking half. I got a smaller reach, and the one thing that we can control, which is our weight, I want to make sure at the very least that's on the up and up and on the level playing field. I can't even do that without being criticized. But meanwhile, you got this dude who's 6'1", weighs 190 pounds, and he's boiling down to 140 pounds or boiling down to 135 pounds. And not only that, but we both got to adhere to the clause. It's not a one-way thing. I got to drain him, but I get to come in at whatever weight I want to come in at. No. So when you telling me I didn't do this, I didn't do that, forget about what you talking about. I'm going to go get the bag. Yeah. Because I do the right thing in your eyes, you got something to say. And then not only that, but the appetite is insatiable. You can line all these guys up who are champions at 135, and he could knock these guys out in the same night, and you would still say, well, he ain't fight Jadier Herrera. He still ain't fight Ernesto Mercado. He still ain't fight. It's always going to be somebody else, another challenge. It'll never be enough. So you might as well do the one thing that you can do, which is take care of yourself, take care of those who believed in you from day one, and take care of your damn family and forget about what these people say because they always going to have something to say.
Hey, your reputation don't pay rent. Your reputation don't pay no mortgage. Your reputation don't pay a light bill. It takes money. And I said it here at the beginning, it's professional boxing. It's a profession. So you're doing this for money, nothing else. You can talk about legacy and people have stories about all of that, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, it's all about the money. And what Tank basically is saying is, look, I got in this game to get what I could get and get out because I'm trying to do this in order to get out of my situation. This is no different than, say, for example, Deontay Wilder. He had a situation when he was getting into the pro game. He had to take care of his daughter. And then while he was doing that, he became the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And he was able to get to a point where he's making 25 to 30 million in a fight against Tyson Fury. Now you look at Tank Davis that's came up from when he did at 8 years old, and he had like conversations coming up in the game saying that, listen, I'm in this to get out of my situation. He said that with like his peers during this time that he was coming up. I'm here to get out of the situation that I'm in, and I'll do whatever it takes in order to do that. And from the point where he built up to, yeah, he won the title against Pedraza and everything like that. But once they changed him from his win against Yuriorkis Gamboa in Atlanta, Georgia, to become a pay-per-view attraction, that made him into a whole different person. And once he got to that status, that's what it was all about. You win titles, cool. But if you make the money, that's a lot better.
It's about the bag. Yeah, prize fight. It's about the bag. Matter of fact, look, I'm gonna play this for y'all. This is gonna be part of my closing argument. Because this guy right here, he got to come see me on the podcast. This guy right here.
Great fighter, we have great standards for you because you are so skilled and you are one of the best. Our standards for you is that you fight the best to show us that's who you are. So it's these type of fights that I don't like them. I don't like it. If you wanted to get the bag, fight Shakur Stevenson. That's a big bag as well. If you wanted to get the bag, fight Devin Haney. That's a big bag as well. If you wanted to get the bag, fight Teofimo Lopez. That's a nice bag as well. When you take these exhibition fights without taking the real fight, you cheat the fan. You cheat the sport.
If Shakur, Devin Haney, and who he say Shakur, Devin Haney, and who else?
Teofimo Lopez.
Teofimo, if they was all big bags, they promoted be beating down the door to make the fight. Najee, you got to come see me, Najee. You loud and wrong, baby. You got to come see me about that one. Cause that ain't gonna cut it. Like the man ready to get 100 mil. That's a big fight.
That's
right, Ant?
Is
Come on, Ant.
See, listen, man. As boxing fans, we be getting it twisted, yo. We be thinking good fight and big fight are synonymous or they're mutually exclusive. Like hell no. Nah. Like there's some good fights that are not big fights.
You can't say good fight and big fight. You gotta say we want fight. Because most of these be fights we want, or we got to see it like this, but they not big fights. It's really not, because if the big fights, they would have happened already.
Exactly. I'll go right back to 2023. Everybody, as far as like fight fans, got a fight that we wanted. Errol Spence versus Terrance Crawford for the undisputed welterweight championship. July 2023. That's what we wanted, right? We got the fight, right? It happened. But as a result, look at the whole thing when it came to the box office or the pay-per-views or whatever it is. Did it actually make financial sense for the people that put it together? No. So after all of that, they're like, you know what? Cool. We don't necessarily have to do that for y'all anymore. We don't have to do that for y'all anymore. We'll just put up a fight. If y'all support it, cool. If not, it is what it is. So you can't talk about, oh, I want Tank versus Shakur Stevenson, or I want Tank versus Devin Haney, or I want Tank versus Teofimo Lopez, when it's been proven time and time again that y'all aren't willing to support, financially back these fights from happening. We only had one time when that's happened, and that's what? Tank versus Ryan Garcia? We haven't had a 1 million pay-per-view buy fight or event ever since. So all of this stuff about requesting these fights to happen, listen, if you ain't part of the business, if you don't see what the numbers are for making these fights potentially happen and seeing if they could get any type of profit from it, then you can't really bring those up.
That's why Najee got to come see me for that clip right there. We got to chop it up.
You, these people behind the scenes have tried to make fights like this happen, but they crunch the numbers and they say, hey, look, if these fighters are asking for this amount of money and we're trying to put this fight together, we need to have this amount of people buy these pay-per-views or spend this money to buy tickets for the fight. And if not, we're going to lose a lot of money. And they're tired of losing money. That's the bottom line.
Like, absolutely.
Man, folks don't want to hear that, Boxer Sauce. They don't want to hear it. It's just we want the fight and not thinking about things from all angles. You know, like I said earlier,
too long, bro, to not be wary of the game and how it works.
That's just what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. And then the thing that's also very hypocritical as fans is like the Brian Norman versus Boots situation. Folks are saying, well, Boots should have took Brian Norman should have took that because it was far more than what he had ever been paid. You don't think that this Jake Paul situation is far more than Tank has ever been paid?
Mm-hmm.
Or does that only works one way? You take the best available option. And that's what the man said in the video. This is what I want, but it's probably not going to happen next. And to the point that you just made, Boxer Source, about these guys crunching the numbers. Folks be thinking that these fights just materialize out of thin air, like it didn't take months of consideration, maybe even a year or years of consideration, with people going through numbers and making projections before they finally pull the trigger on something. They don't just wake up one day, oh yeah, we want to make this fight happen. No, it just don't work that way.
I truly believe like, I believe that Shakur Stevenson fight in Vegas, for what that was, racing weekend or something like that.
Formula
that
One.
Was really, that was, when you talk about crunching the numbers, that was really a test to see what Shakur could do. You know what I mean? And it didn't do good. You know what I mean? I think at that point in time, I think we was at a threshold where it was a strong possibility if Shakur would have drawed more attention, had a better performance, we probably would have got a different outcome when it came to the list of fights we got.
I agree, Senior, but here's the thing about that. Like, the way I look at that situation with Shakur is this. That was very, very clear that Top Rank, they were looking to send a message to Shakur Stevenson. Because we got to think, that was in the midst of him being on the way out. So what do? You put him in a place where he's unlikely to sell, right? Allow the numbers to come back. You presented to him, you need us more than we need you. And then they double down with the Artem situation. In every fight prior to that, during the broadcast, they talked about his technical brilliance and how, hey, he negotiates range so well and he's a phenomenal boxer and so on and so forth. Now all of a sudden we hearing Tim Bradley talking about he need a cup of coffee before the fight starts so he don't fall asleep. Then they showing people walking out the arena. Like, all that stuff is it's premeditated. Also making a portion of the arena unavailable. Because contrary to popular belief, Shakur actually does pretty well out there in Newark at the Prudential Center.
Yeah, he do well there. COE Films, what's going on? How can I help you, champ?
Yo, man, I just tuned in and I heard some things. I just wanted to give my intake on them.
Sure.
So my question is this here. So I know pay-per-view, and I heard you guys saying that people are not paying for fights, and people got to get the money. So my question is, where does the buck stop? You know what I mean? You got them going. You got Jake Paul. You got Tank going to get the Jake Paul fight. Now they said Lamont Roach supposed to be next, but what if Tank said? What if somebody else come and say, "Well, shit, I want to fight Tank, and it's a big money fight," and Tank take that fight? You know what I mean?
What would you do?
In what case?
If you was Tank, what would you do?
If I'm Tank, I'm getting the money and the legacy.
No. Stop right there. If you was Tank, right? And somebody came and said, "I'm gonna give you $100 million for a fight," what would you do?
$100 million for a fight? Of course you're gonna take the money. Listen, of course you're gonna take the money.
Okay, so then somebody else come and say, "I'm gonna give you $200 million for a fight." What you gonna do?
No, it's the stipulations is this, my guy. See,
it's no stipulations. This is a straight up answer. What are you gonna do?
Bro,
are you gonna take the fight or no?
At some point, you just the money.
No. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna take the fight or not?
If I done made $100 million and I gotta get my lick back with Roach, I'm gonna get my lick back, bro.
You married?
Yes, I'm married.
You gonna be divorced if you make that dumbass decision?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you is. So you mean to tell me you made $100 million? Oh, I'm good. Now listen, you made $100 million, but guess what it is? It's 50 off the break. I think it's 40. It's 40 off the break because the tax man had already ate it up.
So okay,
your wife eating good. Okay. She ain't eating good no more. Now you gotta go get that $200 million.
So watch this. So watch this now. So $100 million, right? Okay, and they say
I don't know the number, but that's just what they putting out there. $100 million.
I know you're gonna throw some astronomical number out there that is gonna be like, yeah, you got to get that $100 million. You got to get that $200 million. So yeah, that's in the perfect world, yes. But let's talk about let's just say they say, well, Shedeur Sanders want to fight Tank next. You know what I mean? And then after Shedeur, well, we got Casanat want to fight Tank next.
Listen.
No. Hold up, now.
Listen. Understand this. If they come and bring that man a bag, and that man say that's who he's fighting, that's who he's fighting.
But get your ass out of boxing, bro.
He's a boxer.
No, listen. Don't mess up the sport. Listen, bro. How old are you, man?
Hold up. How's he messing up the sport? How long has boxing exhibitions been taking place?
How old are you, man?
How long has boxing exhibitions been taking place, COE
You ain't
Films?
answer my question, brother. How old are
I'm
you?
41 years old.
Okay, I'm 44.
Now answer my
So,
question. How
so
long
watch
has
this.
boxing
So
exhibitions
I've
been
been
taking
watching.
place?
I've been watching boxing since Sugar Ray now. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming up watching them guys, Tyson, Holyfield.
Hey, Ant, send me that Sugar Ray clip real quick, Ant. Send me that Sugar Ray clip real quick, Ant, for him.
Hold on. No. Let me finish what I'm getting off. What I'm saying, when boxing was at its best, bro. Okay, if they had an exhibition fight up in there, now you talking about somebody coming in and disrupting legacy fights, my guy. If you are a promoter, right? If you're a promoter, you in the boxing world. Right? Your sport is a barbaric sport. It's supposed to be taken seriously at this point, right? If somebody come in and make a mockery of, let's just say basketball, I can put basketball.
Stop right there, COE Films. See, this is what I like to do. No. Listen, COE Films, stop right there. If I'm a boxing promoter, I'm in the game for boxing to do what? Make money.
But check this. But
you keep saying, but I'm in the game to make money. I'm a boxing promoter. That's what I'm here for.
Hold on a moment.
That's why a person that think like that, that's why boxing in the state that is in now. That's why he is in this. That's why Showtime got out the way. That's why
That's you gonna watch the Tank versus Jake Paul fight? Now?
That's why
you gonna watch it?
No.
What you mean? Am I gonna watch it? Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay. All right. Hold on a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
So brother, COE.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
All right. First of all, COE, you said you're 44 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm 44 years old.
Right.
Okay. Now, we're talking about professional boxing, right?
Right.
And these guys in professional boxing, as I call them, are independent contractors. So they go fight by fight, looking at what they have in each fight or whatever's proposed to them. It's like a contract, or if you're bidding for contracts, or if a contract is proposed to you. So now, what you have here in this particular situation, just with Tank, right? Okay. You would have 3 contracts out there that are posed to you. Okay. One of them, you would get presented to, like, say, for example, get paid $20 million. Another contract that is out there, you would get paid $30 million. There's one other contract out there, and they're going to be paying you $100 million. As an independent contractor, you're going to go for the most lucrative one that's out there in front of you. Okay? That's for starters. And that's how a lot of these fighters operate, because they are in there. Once they get to a certain point in their professional career, they take fights that are the most lucrative for them, regardless of what the challenge is. Okay, that's for starters. Now you talk about these fights that happened back in the days, in the 70s and the 80s and all of that. We're in 2025. Boxing back then was a completely different sport. Why? Because you didn't have other avenues in order to make money as you do in this current juncture. Okay, you got, and I don't even have to go with today. I'll go with the 80s and 90s. You had the rise of the NBA. You had the rise of the NFL. You had the rise of other professional sports. So there are many people, or many folks that, hey, I'll say it, look like us, that had the option to either go into boxing or play football, basketball, or whatever it is. That's why in the 80s, you had the rise of the NBA, you had the rise of the NFL, and as a result, boxing went down significantly. So what we're having here at this particular juncture, why boxing is the way that it is right now, is because of the rise of these other sports and the amount of people that have put themselves out there to play football, to play a basketball. They're not playing boxing no more. They're not. Or, well, you can't play boxing. That's just, as the saying goes, you don't play boxing. But you get into boxing because you think that that is an avenue to get out of the situation that you're in. Now, a lot of people have other options to do that isn't boxing. So you're not going to have that many fighters out there. You're not going to have those Sugar Ray Robinsons, those Marvin Haglers, Aaron Pryders, and all that type of stuff. They're not going to be there. So right now, in this current juncture, what we're seeing with Tank is we're seeing a fighter or a young man that came out of Baltimore around 8 years old trying to get out of the situation that they're in. We have the same story happening all over the world. Isaac Cruz is somebody that has that same story coming out of Mexico. When he's there, he's like a prize fighter. Do people say, hey, oh no, he should be going after legacy? No, he's just doing it because he's trying to care for his family. So same goes for every fighter that's out there. Shouldn't be no different.
So let me ask you this. Do you think if legacy could be tied with the money, you think money and legacy can go hand in hand? Do you think it can go hand in hand, right?
Not at this current time, no.
Not at this current time.
I was saying.
Not since Turkey has came aboard. You don't think so?
No, not even before that.
No, I'm talking about. So, at this current time, do you think with the state that boxing in right now, with Turkey in the game, do you think you can make big money and also have legacy fights?
No, because he hasn't done that.
Huh?
He's been in the game. He's been in the game for what, about 2 years now. What was the first notable fight that was affiliated with Turki Al-Sheikh?
Did you just say that this man haven't been making legacy fights and big money fights?
Legacy is retrospective. We gotta wait and see how things plan out. We gotta wait and see how things pan out.
Okay.
What was the headlining bout that was affiliated with Turki Al-Sheikh in October of 2023? It was a heavyweight bout. Who were the two fighters involved in that?
2023. Who was that? Was that Fury?
Fury and who?
And was that Usyk? Let me see. No, Fury and
Ngannou.
And Francis Ngannou,
yeah,
who is a mixed martial arts fighter.
Right.
So is that saying that he is making the biggest fights possible?
I mean, no. If you're just gonna take that one, if you're just gonna take that one and lay your hat on that, then you can say. But let's talk about all the fights that has came after that, and let's talk about the fight that's happening now. But I mean, my God, look,
okay,
look, money is. I mean, you can say that these big fights that's been going on, or the exhibition fights that's been going on, can coexist within the sport right now. But when you're talking about the state of with the state that boxing is in right now, with him pushing to make like the bouts fights, the Virgil Ortiz and the Shakurs and the Teofimos. I mean, when he got all this money on the line and asking for these fights, right? And these fighters now are just not taking the bait because he wanted Shakur and Tank. But what happened?
You talk about the biggest fights possible, right? With Turki Al-Sheikh, right?
But did Turk want to see Shakur and
who your favorite boxers COE films? Who you like in boxing?
I like Shakur. I like Bud. I like that boy Keyshawn. I like Boots. I like Clarissa Shields. You know, I like Haney. You know what I'm saying?
Like Paul?
I got a few fighters. I see the fighters I like, man. They don't do a lot of ducking. You know what I'm saying? I like because they like to go with their legacy. They all about, man, make it possible, man.
Give me 1 second. Don Ricken, appreciate the support. Turkey ain't making no money. If boxing doesn't make money, the sport doesn't grow. Appreciate the support, champ.
You've had a couple of undisputed championship fights happen under Turki Al-Sheikh. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk twice. And you had Dmitry Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev twice.
Do you think we would have got those fights?
What's that?
Do you think we would have got to see those fights if he didn't make it happen?
No. That was basically the point. Those guys, especially with the Bivol Beterbiev, they have held all of the titles in the light heavyweight division for years and never were able to have their fight for the undisputed light heavyweight championship. Why? Because the people were not willing to put up the money because they felt like they were not going to get enough returns for it. It's all about making money. It doesn't really matter about legacy. Promoters don't really care that much about legacy as long as they are able to make the money. That's what senior.
But see, and that's why it's dying, bro. Because you had those fights, those thrillers in Manilas, man. Back then, you had whole countries.
What was the point of those fights, though?
And
What was the
people
point of
died.
those fights?
People
To make
glued
money.
to the channels. People listening to the. And I know that social media that have a lot to do with it, streaming and all that has a lot to do with the numbers falling and all that. Of course, you know, piracy and everything is playing a big factor in those numbers not being what they are. Because you know, people watch boxing still, but the piracy is at an all-time high now. You know what I'm saying? So
You got five stick?
The numbers are not what they should be. You know what I mean? Smoke and
You
mirrors.
got five stick?
Say it again.
Do you got five stick?
Oh yeah, I got a 5 stick.
So you the reason why we don't get big fights.
But I don't. No, I pay for the fights, brother. Straight up, because I don't like the buffering or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I try. I ain't
you know
gonna
about the buffering if you ain't never watch it.
Listen, man. Hey, I promise you, I can show you receipts. I pay for the fights because I tried the 5 stick thing. I ain't gonna lie, but I always it shit got buff. You know the buffering, and my bad. I didn't mean to cuss on your panel, but the buffering. You know what I'm saying? So I just said, man, I might as well just pay for it. So I pay for it. You know what I mean? I haven't used the 5 stick in years, bro. I'm talking about, man. You talking about about since Mayweather. Since Mayweather had fought Pacquiao, that's the last time I used the 5 stick.
I ain't tell you to incriminate yourself. I just asked that you have a 5 stick.
But all them fights you mentioned, bro, the intention was to get paid. I guarantee you they were not sitting around talking about no goddamn legacy or nothing like that.
Right. I understand that, but I'm just saying that's the state of boxing. The mind frame that we have now is you have people really not trying to push the Lamont Roach and Tank get back fight. You know he could have got that get back and still could.
Who not pushing for it though?
Who wasn't pushing?
Man, hey man, listen, hey bro, I really be tuned into these boxing streets, and I see a lot of people talking about, man, no, Tank, they just mad because Tank getting his bag, and this and that. It ain't about, man, get your money, man. You know what I'm saying? But see, when you dealing with business, brother, you know, like this is my showcase that I have here in my state. I throw this right here. It's called the Matchup Showcase. You know what I'm saying? It's a high school.
You beat me to it. I'm glad you took the. I was ready to tell you. I knew you had a shout out in there somewhere.
Well, yeah, this is. But what I'm saying is, I host this every year. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm dealing with a lot of venues. I'm dealing with a lot of people and the business side. So when you go into business, like Tank had this man really practice. I mean, really training. You know, got people out in camp, man. You know, they bring their people.
COE Films. Let me see COE Films. Where you go at? Hey.
But my bad, I got a call.
Hey, COE Films, stop right there. You're a businessman, right? You're a businessman, right? You said you're a businessman, right? You run that tournament all the time, right?
I don't know if he was like getting a call or something.
Yeah, he said he was getting the call.
I think he got cricket.
No, it can't be.
Yeah, give me 1 second, man.
Okay, yo, he talking to Babe. I'm getting him out. He talking to Babe.
Right, can you hear me?
Oh, you said you're a businessman, right?
So hold up. So let me feel what I'm saying. So listen.
No, I'm just asking. You're a businessman, right? You're a businessman, right?
Yeah.
So you know firsthand the rules of business that anything is subject to change at any moment. You know that.
I understand that.
But you keep saying you understand everything, but then you say but after everything. So how do you understand and come back with a but?
Well, because see, if you have a contract in place, brother, and you dealing with people on this contract and you got your name signed down, you can't just pull out because certain people done made.
Do you know what was on the contract?
Huh?
Do you know what was on the contract?
No, I don't know what's on the contract.
I don't know what's on the contract. No, listen.
But I'm talking about.
Listen, COE Films. I don't know what was on the contract neither. But I know if it had to be Roach next, it would have been next. It's a rematch in there. He got to have a rematch, but it don't have to be next.
So
he told you that right after the post-fight press conference.
Why they talking about money and everything and getting sued? What's up with all that?
Listen, I don't get into all that. All I'm saying is, if it had to be next, it would have been next. It ain't next.
Right. I understand that. But what I'm telling you, like this here, like if I give you my word, okay, prime example, if I say, hey, senior, this is what I need you to do. I need you to sell your house, get your family, man, and move out here to California. And I got something for you lined up. You said, bet, I got you. I done gave you my words. I done got you down here. Done made all everything lined up, got you ready to go. You get down here, and I said, well, bro, I ain't gonna be able to. That what I told you, I ain't gonna be able to do it, man. Now
but that ain't what happened. COE Films. You can't use that analogy because that's not what happened.
How you know that ain't what happened?
You got 3 other fighters beating down Lamont Roach's door trying to get a fight.
You just told me you don't know what's in the contract.
But I said you have 3 other fighters beating down Lamont Roach's door trying to get a fight. So you can't tell me I brought you down here for nothing. No, I exposed you to 3 other fights.
Listen, what I'm saying is, if I got a contract, brother, and I'd have made all these moves, and you pull out at the last moment, you'd have cost me money. You'd have cost me time. I could have been did something else. You know what I mean?
Films. I'm gonna play this for you. I'm gonna play this for you. I'm gonna play this for you, COE Films.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What you were saying, COE Films?
That's Kevin Garcia that was asking those questions.
Yeah, I
was right there.
But see, then go to Fight Hype. Go to Fight Hype and listen to what Lamont Roach, that father had said. It was basically a done deal.
Listen. Did you hear what he said out his own mouth? Did you hear what the one that's in charge? Did you hear what the one that's in charge?
When there's a rematch clause?
Did you hear the one that's in charge? What the one in charge said? I just played it for you.
The rematch clause, though.
I don't got to know nothing else. Did you hear what he said out his mouth directly after the fight?
Here's the thing, COE. Here's the thing.
It wasn't mine.
If they were contractually bound to an agreement to have a rematch, regardless of the result, that's what you would have.
So why Tank said he trying to sue? What's up with that?
No,
that ain't none of my business.
So
I just showed you what the man said.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. The reason why he said he trying to sue is because, man, you had this man in a rematch clause, brother. You shouldn't have never signed for a rematch clause, man.
Did you hear what he said directly after the fight?
He just got them hands and feet put on him. Yeah, he was thinking about that Jake Paul.
That don't even matter. But did you hear what he said?
That's not.
Did you hear what Jake Paul? Hold up. Did you hear what Jake Paul said though? Did you hear what Jake Paul said?
You trying to do everything else but answer the question.
Let's not deal with that. We are talking about what happened on March 1st at the Barclays Center after that fight result took place, and you had the post-fight press conference that was out there. Okay. I was there when both Lamont Roach and Tank Davis were at the podium after the fights. Now, if Tank Davis says that, hey, I will want that fight to be next, but it's not going to be next, that is basically what they have up there. You're talking about a fighter that is dealing with Amazon Prime at the time when they made that network deal. Okay. So you're dealing with something that has millions and millions of dollars behind it. There's stipulations, there's technicalities, there's revisions to things and all that type of stuff. They have lawyers on both sides that deal with everything by the book, line by line. And
you got any closing arguments, COE?
Well, I just want to say this, man. If Tank don't make concessions with Lamont Roach after this, just look for that lawsuit and that money to be paid and to be finalized. And at that moment,
that ain't none of mine or your business.
I'm not, but I know it's not. But I'm saying this.
That's pocket watching. What you doing? You that's pocket watching, though. COE Films.
That's not pocket
you
watching.
Out of order as a man. You want to see another man get sued.
I don't care if he make. If I don't care if he make.
So why you talk about wait for the lawsuits and all that? That ain't got nothing to do with boxing.
I'm talking. No, you said my closing arguments. My argument.
Yeah, but you just turned into a straight hater, though.
If I'm telling you like this, when you see that this man is being sued, right? Then at that moment, you would have known. At that moment, you would know that there was a legal binding document. Okay, so whether Tank moved on, he moved on. Whether he fight,
what does that have to do with the boxing though? You worrying about a man getting sued?
What you mean? What it got to do with boxing?
Like just me. Like I wouldn't be able to wait till that man gets sued. Like I'm not waiting till the wish.
What I'm saying is, y'all just.
I'm asking, why is that even a part of your argument?
You act like this is good for boxing.
No, but I'm saying, why is the person getting sued good for your argument?
Good for boxing, Doc. This is not good for boxing, man.
Have exhibitions been taking place throughout boxing?
I don't care about what no exhibition. You can't just
because you mad.
This is not good for boxing, Doc. I don't care how you try to twist it. It's not good for boxing. Period.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question on COE Films.
Yeah.
So we have my man Shushu Carrington fighting on Top Rank. His most viewed fight was on the prelims of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. How is spreading more awareness about other fighters? Because that's the other part of it that we haven't even addressed. We only talked about one part of it. But you're about to have more than likely over 50 million people viewing this event. Think about all these other fighters that have been fighting them in obscurity. How is that not good for them? How is that not good for boxing?
If you're going to be a promoter, be a promoter. Don't get into the mix and call. It's good for boxing putting eyes on the other fighters, but what I'm talking about is making a fight, man, that's you got a guy that's in his prime that's really I mean, everybody was looking for the Lamont Roach and Tank fight. What weren't you looking for the rematch? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So with that being said, that's something that has to take place if the fans want it. Nobody asked for this Jake Paul and Tank fight. That's what I'm saying.
People are still going to tune in though.
COE Films. We can want it all we want, but what's good for that man is what he has to decide is good for him. We can want it all we want. You don't get it because you keep saying this and that. Nah, what's good for him is good for him.
Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. The first fight did 1 million views.
I got
the
it.
The second fight had over 50 million people watching.
I get you.
And it was so successful that they were able to stage the first all-women's card at Madison Square Garden, not in the Hulu Theater, in the small room, in the main room. And that generated over 6 million views, and it was all ladies. So what I'm saying is, like, how is that bad for boxing? We may not like certain things, we may want certain things, but if we're talking about what is good or bad for boxing, we have to consider all things. We have to look at it holistically in its totality. Not just this one aspect, like, okay, because I would love to see Tank versus Roach. But again, let's say if this fight, there's over 300 million people subscribed to Netflix. let's say a quarter of those people tune into a boxing event, and now they're being exposed to whomever it is that's on the undercard. That's far more eyes on those fighters that would be fighting on ESPN Knockout, or fighting maybe on OTX, or fighting maybe on Red Owl Boxing or something like that. And there's only 4,000, 5,000 people watching the same fight that now has hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of eyes on it. How is that bad for boxing? Not for Tank's legacy, not for what we feel about Tank versus Lamont Roach. How is that bad for boxing as a whole?
Because the numbers that you're talking about on Netflix, right? The numbers that you're talking about, just like you said, the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. A lot of people knew Tyson. A lot of people knew Jake Paul. It takes two to make something happen, right? So the numbers that you're talking about, the fans you're talking about, are not the fans that's indebted and that's looking for these fighters. They won't even probably want to watch another boxing match until until something exhibition or something like that pop up again. They might just won't. They might won't.
So COE Films. So then what you're saying is that exhibitions happen and people tune into exhibitions. That's why people can make large amounts of money to have a one-off fight every now and then throughout their career, which has happened throughout boxing, starting with Jack Dempsey. You got Sugar Ray Robinson. You had so this has taken place all throughout boxing.
So
I was just watching this documentary the other day when Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys and he fired Tom Landry. Oh, he don't know shit. It ain't gonna work. Now look at Jerry Jones.
So would you be okay if, let's just say, Casanat?
Oh, I can stop you right there. As long as that man okay, I'm okay.
No, you're not.
As long as that man's okay, I'm okay.
No. Say, man, this man, what you're telling me, you'll be okay watching Casanat and Charleston White fight.
If the
I don't have to watch Casanat versus Charleston White.
If the demand is there,
it's okay for them to come. Right, long as it's making money, is what you're saying.
As long as it's making money.
What that shit was called? Celebrity Deathmatch? Everybody was watching that shit.
As long as it's making money, if there are enough people that are interested in watching that fight take place, then they're gonna go ahead and have that happen. It's happened all through history. That is the thing that people understand.
Boxing sword.
Now
we live in a day and age where people go into arenas and watch people slap each other. There's a whole slap league.
This ain't.
There's a whole pillow fight.
How many people you texted to?
Hold on a second. I talked about. All right. Here's the thing too. I talked about this when I talked about the era of boxing. People talk about the 70s and the 80s and whatever it is a golden age or whatnot, right? And they had exhibition fights then, right? But they all juncture really criticized, and that's called tune-up fights, right? So you could have someone like a Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. that could have a fight against a Pernell Whitaker or somebody like that, and then the next fight over at 77-0 fight a guy that is 7-5 in Mexico. Then you could have exhibitions like this happen. The thing is, in today's age, where everything is on the internet or everything is on TV, everything is magnified 10 to 20 times over. So something like this between Jake Paul and Tank Davis is magnified 20 times over and gets 20 times the criticism because everything is instant right now. So this particular thing is no different than what happened year after year after year in the past. It's just that right now.
And to that point, boxing sauce, bro, you was cooking because
a whole lot of eyes seeing it right now.
We did a film study on Anthony Yard versus Anthony we did a film study on Anthony Yard versus David Benavidez, right? You know the dude that Anthony Yard fought after Sergey Kovalev. This dude was 4-48-3.
That they do that all the time in England. all the
some
time.
bullshit fight,
like that.
and nobody's up in arms about this nonsense occurring.
All the time. Look at, like, if you go back to when Kell Brook was fighting, look at a couple of guys that he had on his record.
Nah, but you know, everybody got to be fighting killer
tonight,
after
we
killer.
We running a little over 2 hours. Show was fire. Shout out to COE Films. Appreciate him coming up here. My guy said everything, anything, and nothing all at the same time. Shout out to my guy, man. He was dope guy to have up on here. You know what I mean? Shout out to his basketball league. I think it said the matchup. Shout out to what he got going on. Appreciate you for coming up here. Closing arguments, another dope show on the books. Appreciate you, Boxer Source and McQueen, for coming up here. What y'all got?
Oh, closing argument, same thing as always. Seeing small things, all things. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. And shout out to the Bible coach Kenny. Love over hate.
Yeah, love over hate. And remember, at the end of the day, it's professional boxing. Keyword professional. With that, peace out. Hit the like button. Support the Rize podcast, y'all.
Appreciate it. Don't forget the Boxing Source. Smoothie King on the way out. Winston X falling. Y'all missing the main point. If fights like this don't happen, what's going to keep these boxing companies from going broke? Money fights necessary. Plus, this ain't sanctioned. Appreciate you, Winston McFarlane. Smoothie King, Route 707. Hey, senior, the Dallas Cowboys Netflix was great, right? I did watch it, though. That shit was dope, though. I'll give you the credit for that. Anything else, the Cowboys sub.
Some say you forgive, but don't forget it. Now you know how we do. Lock that back door, don't let no one through. I told Michi in these streets ain't no rules. He say, cause all this life we ain't put on with this. Yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah, yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, then we them niggas. And now we rich now. We got money. I don't give a shit, no. And we did it. Young nigga come up from nothing, now he getting to them riches. And it's the life of a young rich nigga.